do you use used to versus be used to? Have you ever said something like, I'm used to live in London, and then immediately thought, no, that's not right? Well, today we're clearing up the difference between used to and be used to. Two expressions that look almost identical, they sound the same, and they always confuse English learners.
So you think you know English? Plot twist!
English. Okay, so the problem is simple. Used to and be used to look almost exactly the same, but the thing is they have completely different jobs. It's confusing because they both use the words used to, and well, I've even heard advanced speakers mess this up. But don't worry, because by the end of this video, you'll know when used to talks about the past, when be used to talks about now, and how to stop making this very common mistake that almost all English learners make at the beginning. So let's start with used to. Now, used to is only talking about the past. It describes something that was true before, but it's not true anymore. Think past habits, old routines, former situations. For example,
I used to live in London.
That means I lived there before, but I don't live there now. Or,
I used to drink 3 coffees a day.
That is a past habit and it's not true anymore.
I drink 1 now.
Now, a really useful test is this one. If you can add, but not anymore, to the end of the sentence, you're probably using it correctly.
I used to be shy, but not anymore.
Perfect. Now, let's look at be used to. Be used to means this feels normal for me. I've done this before. And here's one thing that will hopefully help make this click. In be used to, the word to is a preposition. So that means it must be followed by a noun or a verb ending in ing. Never a base verb, okay? Never just the infinitive verb.
Since I mentioned about to being a preposition, I just wanted to show you this very quick chart with the 3 key rules for prepositions. I'm not going to explain it now because it would take a little bit too long, but take a look at this and I'll have a video for you very soon on this topic.
These 2 sentences are correct.
I'm used to dogs. I'm used to waking up early.
You see, in the first sentence, it's followed by a noun. And in the second sentence, it's followed by the ing version of the verb. But this, for example, is wrong.
I'm used to eat spicy food. No.
We cannot follow be used to with a verb in its infinitive form. It doesn't work. So now let's compare them side by side because that's where it actually really starts to sink in. I used to wake up early. This sentence is saying it's something that I did in the past, but it's not true now. I'm used to waking up early. It's the same topic, but it's a different grammar and has a different meaning. This meaning is that right now, it's normal for me to wake up early. So let's look at one more example. I don't know if you know this about me, but I actually live in France, even though I come from England. But in France and England, they drive on different sides of the road. So,
I used to drive on the left when I lived in England. But now that I live in France, I'm used to driving on the right side.
Driving on the right side is something that is normal for me now and I'm comfortable with it. So now here's the most important learning tip of the whole video. And I say this because my native language is English and I learned French. This is how I learned a lot of complex grammar. The best way to really remember these kinds of grammar rules and really get them stuck in your head so they become natural, it's to create sentences with the grammatical structure inside. But there's more to this because it's not just creating any old sentence. We're going to create sentences that actually mean something personal to us. We're not just going to memorize the grammar rule and hope that it works when we have a conversation. No. We're going to make example sentences that we can actually hear ourselves using in the future. That's why I gave you my example of driving on the right and driving on the left, and why I explained about me living here in France and that I used to live in England. These things are real for me. This is my real life. And so when I make example sentences in my target language, I'm going to make sentences about my real life. I'm not going to say I used to have an elephant, but now I'm used to having a giraffe. When am I ever going to say these things? Never, because it's nonsense. I'm going to make sentences that actually work for me, that I can see myself using, that I can see myself actually saying in a conversation. And like that, I begin to feel comfortable in the language. I begin to own the language. The language is something that works for me. It's not just something I memorize and hope that it works out for me. So let's do some more examples. Before I lived in France, I used to live in the UK. And even though I miss England, I'm used to living in France now. These sentences I can see myself using one day in a conversation, and actually I have used them in French, so. And like that, I'm gonna actually remember this structure and then find it easier to apply this structure to other sentences a little bit later on when I'm searching for the way to say something. So do it now. Go make some sentences that actually apply to your personal life, whether you like gaming, whether you like sports, whether you used to live in this city, whether you're used to having a dog in your house, whatever it is. Make sentences with examples that actually mean something to you. It actually helps you to retain the information when you have a personal connection to the example or to the sentence. Now let's finish with a quick quiz. Which one is correct? I'm used to wake up early. I'm used to waking up early. Pause the video and make your choice. Welcome back. The correct answer is number 2, because after be used to, we need a noun or a verb ending in ing. Now try this one. I in a small town, but now in a big city. Pause the video and think about it. All right. The answer is I used to live in a small town, but now I'm used to living in a city. Okay, so we're talking about in the past, we lived in a small town, and now we live in this big city, and it's normal for us. All right, well, if you got that right, well done. You have got it. I'm proud of you. Now, this video is part of my Confusing English Explained series, where we untangle English that looks easy, but then when we try to use it, we think, wait, what? I'm really confused. So this is the end of the video, but before you go, don't forget, go and write some example sentences that actually link to your personal life. Those are going to help you retain the information, and retaining the information means that you become a faster and more confident speaker of English. Bye.
So you think you know English? Plot twist! English.